Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I am bringing you another episode of Story Time. Now, today's story is fairly recent. I think most of the stories I've told are old, but now we have one from within, this year. Literally the last, 4 months. Nah, maybe not 4 months. Maybe, 6 months. Last semester. Last year of school, last semester, depending on if you are in high school or college. But, regardless, this was about, I don't know, I'd say maybe March or something. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, the time frame is not really that important. I'm just giving you guys a little insight into the scenario. So, just rewind about 6 months or so. This is, towards the end of the semester, and I am in class. So I'm not sure what I've actually titled this video. Probably I've titled it Most Embarrassing Moment in Class. I guess that's a good title. That sounds like a good title. We're gonna go with that one. This was a typical day. I really wasn't, thinking anything special. It was a normal fucking day of class, right? So let me set the background for you guys. Now, if you are not in college or you don't understand how college classrooms work, a lot of college classes are big. It's not like your typical, in high school, every fucking class is 30 people max or so. There really isn't big classes. In college, it's a little bit different. A lot of your classes, especially your early on classes, they will be huge. You'll have maybe upwards of 500 people in your class, depending on how big of a school you go to. The class I was in currently, when this moment happened, I would say there's probably about 200 people max, about 150 to 200 people in this class. It was a big auditorium. It wasn't just a little classroom or whatever. It had the movie theater seating, the bottom rows at the bottom, and then, it kind of elevates as you go up towards the back row. You guys got the picture, right? So it's just a big, auditorium setting. Now, I was sitting not, completely in the back. It was probably, 3 or 4 rows behind me. So towards the back, but not in the complete back row. And I was sitting, kind of towards the left, but not, all the way next to the aisle. So there was, a few people next to me that, you'd have to cross to get to my seat, right? This is all going to just come into effect later. I just got to paint the picture in your head, okay? So, I'm sitting on the left side. There's, a few people next to me. Then there's the aisle, and then there's the middle section, another aisle, then the right section, you know what I'm saying? So just typical setup. This was a typical day. I was sitting in class, bored as shit as usual, just sitting there listening to whatever lecture was going on that day from this old motherfucker. Our professor, he was pretty old. And he was just giving us our lecture on whatever bullshit we were learning that day. Everyone bored as shit. So I was just on my phone, typical day. This is all typical, right? I was just sitting on my phone, and I happened to be browsing Twitter at the time, which this was mistake number 1. I should not have been on Twitter. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the first thing I do when I go to class, I make sure my phone is on vibrate. You know what I'm saying? Just simple. I got the iPhone, so I just click the little button on the side, bring it all the way down to the bottom one. I don't want my phone to be going off in class, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it on vibrate, everything's good, right? So my shit was on vibrate, we were good, right? I had checked the scenario. But, unfortunately, the way the iPhone works is there are 2 settings. Even if I have my shit on vibrate, if I watch a video or a Vine or anything, any sort of media, if you watch that, that's a different sound setting, which unfortunately for me was played all the way up. I don't know what I was doing. I was listening to music or something earlier, and my shit was all the way maxed the fuck out, okay? This was mistake number 2. So I was just browsing Twitter, and unfortunately, at this time was right when those moaning vines became popular. At this point, everyone was making all sorts of fucking vines and videos and shit of just, different scenarios, and you'd click on it and think, hey, this is whatever the fucking scenario they put, you know what I'm saying? You click on it, oh, let me see this, it looks interesting. And instead of seeing whatever the fuck was in the thumbnail, you would be greeted with a girl loudly moaning. Now, just to give you guys a little example of this, I am going to play the noise for you now. Alright, so at this point I feel like everyone knows what's coming up next, but let me continue explaining it. So another mistake that I made in this scenario was Twitter has a feature where you can disable or enable autoplay on videos. So what that means is if you're scrolling down your timeline and you pause over a video for a second, even if you don't have to actually even click play, it will automatically start playing. I now have this feature disabled. Don't worry, I learned my lesson. But at the time, Twitter video and all that stuff was new, and I didn't even realize that you could do that. I thought it was just automatic. You have to fucking see every video that gets posted on your timeline, and I had that shit enabled. So that was mistake number 3. So, it's I don't know, 11 a.m. in class, and we're halfway through our lecture, and I'm browsing Twitter, and I come across some video. I don't even remember what the video was, and it was just on my timeline, you know, just an innocent video, and I kind of just hesitated over it for a second because I was like, what is this? And I didn't realize what I was doing. Like, I didn't comprehend the mistake that I was making at this point in time. I was just interested in the title of this, and I didn't plan on playing the video, but unfortunately for me, that was the girl moaning. It was someone trolling. Basically, we're sitting there, this video autoplays on my phone, and all of a sudden, the room is filled with a loud noise of a girl moaning. And keep in mind, like, this is a college classroom. The professor was giving his lecture, like, nobody was talking. Like, there was no talking going on. Everyone was just listening what's being said, writing down their notes and shit, right? Like, it was basically quiet except for one person speaking at the front of the classroom. So, believe me, everyone fucking heard this. So it starts playing and I'm like, oh fuck. I quickly just exit out of the Twitter app, but the damage had already been done. At this point, the damage was already done. About 5 seconds of moaning had erupted from my phone. And at this point, I still haven't looked up. I'm still looking down at my phone. I'm just thinking like, fuck, what am I doing? What just happened? I'm fucked. I was just panicking. I was like, shit, everyone thinks I'm fucking Eugene now, right? Like, people legit think I'm sitting here looking at porn in class, just jerking off, just a fucking Eugene. So I just look up, and I can't help but laugh. I'm laughing. I'm just like, well, this is unfortunate. And I just look around, and I see all 150, 200, how many ever fucking people were in that class. Every single person has their head turned around, looking in my general direction. And, you know, once they kind of saw that the people next to me were looking at me, at that point, everyone figured out that that noise had come from my phone. And at this point, like, I didn't know what I was supposed to say. Like, I didn't know what to, I didn't know. Like, I was just stunned. I was like, shit, what the fuck do I say right now? Like, I don't know what I can say. They probably think I'm the biggest fucking weirdo ever right now. Even the professor at this point had stopped his lecture, and he was also staring in my direction. So I was just like, well, this is fucking unfortunate, isn't it? So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to fucking say. I was stunned. I was just like, shit, what the fuck do I say right here? I'm just sitting there just smiling, just wondering what the fuck do I'm just like looking around. I'm like, oh shit, man. Like, what do I do? So I just put my phone in my pocket, took my fucking notebook, closed it, put it in my bag, put my bag on, stood up, and walked past the like 4 people, which that made it so much more awkward because I was walking past the people to get by them, you know what I'm saying? And I just walked out of the fucking class right then and there, and that was it, man. I didn't know what else to do. I was like, let me just fucking leave. I just had to leave. I just walked the fuck out right then and there. And I was thinking about it, is like, from then on, for the rest of that class, and pretty much every class I have now, I try to sit in the back row. Just in case anything like that were to ever happen again, I sit in the very back row, because if I was in the back row, as soon as it played, I would have just grabbed my shit and walked out. Before anyone even saw me, I would have fucking disappeared. I would have been out that bitch. No one would have even known what was going on. They probably would have been looking at the dude next to me thinking it was him. I would have been gone. But unfortunately for me, I was not in the very back row, and I was not in a good position overall. I mean, I'm sure that's probably happened to a lot of you guys. Maybe not to that extent, but I know when I put that noise in my 150K setup video, the comments on that video are hilarious. There was so many people that were like, yeah, I was watching this with my mom. I was fucking watching this at work. I was watching this at school. Like, I'm pretty sure I got a lot of people with that too. So you guys share my pain, man. But that was just terrible. Everybody in that class thought I was fucking weird as shit, just jerking off in class. Jesus Christ. That's pretty much it for this story. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like rating if you did. Subscribe if you're not already. Leave me your similar stories in the comments section down below. I guess I feel like I'm not the only one this has happened to. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.
You got a secret, like you victorious. I'm back on a Tuesday and fucking feels glorious. I'm on the backbeat, sipping in the backseat, listening to NSYNC. No, not Backstreet.